There's so much reaction in the world right now. Everybody wants to change everything. Everybody's pointing the finger at problems that are outside of themselves, coming up with solutions instantly without any real rational thought or consideration or testing. Like, let's have a look at that idea and see if it works in even a simulated version of reality. Most of it does not. I think what the world needs more of is action. People involved, engaged, aware, doing real things. Not just on social media or talking amongst your friends about, if I was in charge, then it would be like this. Or if this group over here would just understand, then we wouldn't have the problems over there. Like, it's all an absolute waste of time. Like, just focus on what you can do today to make a difference. And I think for most people, when they sit down and think, what could I do to contribute? They don't come up with anything meaningful that they would like to contribute. It's just too hard, too scary, too confronting, and I think that's why everybody's always reacting to everything and emotional about everything, because they're guarding themselves from dealing with the reality of the situations that they're confronted with. So, I see it all. I see the communities, they're really angry about youth crime right now. And crime in general. Like all the crazy things that are happening in the world. Everybody's installing cameras all over their houses. Like normal, everyday people. It didn't used to be like this. And slowly it's just creeping in. Nobody's feeling safe. The kids are getting younger and younger that are getting involved in this drama. And once you get them in, the system's so overloaded it can't keep up. There's no resources. Nobody's actually getting through to these kids because there's nobody to even talk to them in the first place. Like, people that are actually applying themselves to real problems that are taking place in our communities are rare. There's some absolute legends out there right now that have been pouring their heart and soul into this shit forever. And not only are they rarely acknowledged, usually they're vilified. Like, people are angry at them. Like, why are you helping these kids? Like, why are you helping these people that are causing so much harm in our communities? But like, I don't know, maybe it's a position that I hold that maybe I need to look at. I don't know. But I consider, like, if somebody's doing harm in your community, my first question is why? Like, what's going on with them? How did they become the person that's lashing out or being destructive or even self-destructive? What's going on with them? That's always been my question. Like, how did we get here? How do we create this situation where I'm angry or I'm depressed or I'm anxious or whatever's going on that's now generating all of these behaviors? Let's work on that. Like, I do get like that people want things to happen now. Like, if somebody is dangerous in your community and they're doing dangerous things and they're harming others, that needs to be dealt with 100%. But the whole, like, I see a lot of vigilantism type posts, like just people starting to get angry, people starting to get violent about this, like they're gonna take matters into their own hands. It doesn't actually solve the problem. You go use violence against somebody that only knows violence, you're just reinforcing the program. Like, you go and use violence against somebody who's like stealing cars and doing drugs and everything, it only pushes them deeper into a world where they're isolated and alone and nobody cares. It just proves them right. Like, yeah, that it's stuff the world, screw the world. I'm not giving anything back to the world when this is what I've gone through, and I'm 100% not for the victim mentality way of thinking either. Like, if you've got terrible circumstances, if you've got a terrible life, if the cards you've been dealt are the worst possible that you could have been dealt, doesn't matter. Like, doesn't matter how much we complain about it or we feel like a victim. Like, it doesn't change the cards. The only way to change the cards is play that hand you got, get on to the next one. Like, what's next? what can we do right now in this moment to change things? And I think, again, it comes back to the individual. But what's going on that I'm observing is people understand that it's all about the individuals, but we're making it all about those individuals that are not me. If they would just get their act together, if these politicians would do this thing over here, if the police would do that, if youth justice would do this, if child safety would do that, or if these people over here, NDIS is a problem, stop it. There's no collective action without individual action. What are you going to do about it? Like, I don't want to hear it if you're not doing something, like if you're not assisting somebody to make those changes, if you're not working on your own stuff so that you can be more calm and centered and regulated and be able to look somebody in the eye when they're in a crisis and be like, I got this, like this is what we do, XYZ, let's move through the process. Once people get through that a couple of times and they learn some new strategies, some new ways to cope, some new outcomes are possible for them. They don't just have to go back to jail. They don't just have to go back on the drugs. They don't have to just go back sleeping under the bridge, whatever their old program is. Then the mind starts to open up. What closes the mind down is this mentality that like there's a bunch of people over there that are problematic and they need to be dealt with harshly, and consequences for sure, but consequences and compassion. That's what I'm really getting at here. So probably needed to say that sooner in the video, because most people who are against the kinds of things that I'm saying would just be super triggered and like stuff you and bye. But you need the consequences and the compassion together as one thing. Like, yeah, people mess up. Yeah, they're responsible for that. But why? Why are they messing up? We can't just like be fully punitive with everything. Like, it's got to be balanced with compassion so that we can actually assist people to make changes so that they no longer want to be that person that's causing harm in the community. That's where my head's at right now, from the position that I sit in. Quite a privileged position, like very lucky to be where I am, witnessing what I'm witnessing and being able to contribute and having the resources to contribute positively. It took a long time for me to find in myself a spot where I actually felt like I had the resources to make a difference to people's lives. Not everybody has that. And there's people that are got like 100 times less resources than me that are generating outcomes with some of these young people and adults even that are just unbelievable. Like, they're absolute legends in the community. And like I said, they're not only not acknowledged, they're often vilified. People are mad at them for giving so much to these people that we deem as a collective in the community on our Facebook pages and whatever. They are undeserving. They are problematic. They don't deserve compassion. Like, these guys, they're dealing with that. They're dealing with the whole community telling them, like, you're a part of the problem by supporting these young people. Like, they're not getting praise. They're getting vilified, and they're dealing with all the crazy behaviors and things that are going on, and the trauma and the suffering, and working through this stuff with these young people over years and years and years of their lives, just dedicating so much of their personal time to making these changes. And I just really appreciate those people. If that, just to make that very clear, I just think you're awesome if you're out there, you're making changes with people, and you're walking that fine line between like consequences and compassion. So important. We need more people like that. Where are you guys? Anybody else want to get involved? Let's talk about this. What's going on? I know, like, I sort of evaporated and then just came back all of a sudden saying a bunch of random stuff. Let's talk. Subscribe, comment, like, those things. It's not really relevant to me anymore. I'm just going to pop in and see what pops up.